Hello, this is Left Turn Network, and welcome to race number 3 of season number 3 of the Lumen Stock Car Invitational. We're here at the South Boston Speedway in South Boston, Virginia here today. This was a late season race the last couple of seasons. I believe it was the third to last race both times, but this time it's race number 3. It's been moved way up to the start of the schedule, so it hasn't been that long since these guys have been here last time. Last time it was Jacob Lopez winning at South Boston in what started off his championship run of 3 top 5s at the end of the year with a win at this racetrack. But it's Kobe Hollenbeck who's going to be starting on the pole today instead, who was another one of those championship contenders. This is the shortest track on the schedule. It's only 4/10 of a mile, so the laps will go by quickly. And I'm joined alongside Echo Evans Ross for this race. Good to see you in the booth here today. And Echo, I'm not sure how many races you've run at South Boston, but what is your experience with this racetrack in the past? What do you expect here today?
My experience with this track is I think I ran my first MSCCT race here, and I think that's literally it. But I have seen some races here. I do like how this track races. Quite nice. It takes a little bit, from what I've seen, it usually takes till we get to the lap traffic for it to start getting actually like really racy, but if it's different here, then that's cool by me too. Good short track. I like short tracks like this one, especially ones where you can make passes, you can dive bomb to the inside. This is a tough track to get around. Very short. I think you said it, 4/10 of a mile. I like this track. I don't know if you can tell.
All right, we are gonna have, I believe, I don't remember if this is a 1 or 2 stop race. It's gonna be cutting it close, but either way, this is technically the first short track of the season. We went to Rockingham last week, which is basically a short track, but it's technically too big to be one. But this is definitely a short track. So yeah, let's get into your starting lineup here today. Kobe Hollenbeck will be on pole, like I mentioned before. Alongside him is the 98 of Kevin DuPont. He's in one of those Hondas. The Hondas have been very, very fast this season. We saw at Rockingham, they almost swept the top 3. Row number 2, it's the 70 of Andrew Kreider, who was fast last week, then had an engine failure from second place on the backstretch, which brought out a caution that changed the outcome of the race. And then the 6 car of Holly Martin on the outside, who's had a miserable start to the season. Row number 3 is the 29 of JB Chanot, the current points leader, the only driver that scored a top 5 in both races this year, and the 27 of Oscar Duval, who's been pretty good at qualifying this season so far, but he has not been as good at finishing. Row number 4 is the 99 of Akiya Tajima. He won at Evergreen last year, which was another short track, so we'll see if he can keep that momentum going. Here, I say momentum, that was like a year ago, but still. Luana Connie on his outside. Then it's the 3 car of Montana Sherman and the 36 of Ashley Blake. The 57 of Shauna Everett and the 01 of George Bryan. Everett was another driver that was plagued by mechanical gremlins at Rockingham. Cooper Spurn, the 24, and Latanya Gray in the 81, the season 1 winner here. She led 90 of the 100 laps. Then it's the 77 of JT Boyd, your season opening winner at Oregon, and the 5 car of Joanna Clark making her first point start of the season. She was in the Clash. This is the first time that driver and team have shown up in a points race today. Then it's the 41 of Karina Willis Calloway, boasting a brand new paint scheme, and the 11 of Tim Berry. The 85 of Charlie McCarran, and all of the Motor Racing Ventures cars, the 1 of Jacob Lopez, last year's winner and defending champion, the 55 of Michael Harvin, and the 45 of Rebecca Raymond. That team's going to have quite the climb if they want to win this race. 88 car, Joe Smith, and a Dale Jr. Budweiser throwback. He ran a similar scheme in season 1. This one's slightly different, though. The 62 of Vinny Scholes, and then you have the 8 car of Darren Walker and the 52, I think that's Cheryl Simmons in the car this week. The 92 of Kate Summers and the 28 of Adrian Wheeler. Then it's Tyler Landry in the 66, Laken Herndon in the 39. Then it's the 16 of Corbin Taps and both the Diamond Motorsports cars. I said that the Hondas were fast, but evidently these guys aren't. Ryan Silva in the 58, Jack Chino in the 65, they've got a long ways to go to get to the front. Lori Jackson, who started pretty much dead last at Oregon and managed to get a top 10 out of it. Maybe she'll do it again today. And rounding out the field is the 18 car of Zach Dearman. This will be a 150 lap race, which sounds like a marathon, but considering how short this racetrack is, it really isn't much of one.
And you're lapping here around here at like 15 seconds a lap. This track is, you get here around here really fast. I think I did a 125 lap race here for 2301, and I think it went by in like 50 minutes.
And again, we're expecting about, I think, one stop. We might see a two-stopper depending on how the race plays out, but I am expecting one pit cycle. The amateur race yesterday had one pit cycle, but that was a shorter race. So we'll see how the pit sequence affects this race as they give the command to start engines. And the engines will be firing here on the back straightaway at South Boston. Echo, who do you think's going to win the race?
Well, I'm going to go with the 79 because the Pulsar is the easiest one to take. It's pretty easy to hold your position here. Even with as good a passing you can make around here, being up front here is going to be key.
Green flag is out, and we are racing here at South Boston on the first lap of the race. Hollenbeck trying to lead it. Andrew Kreider right on his back bumper in second. He's going to look to the inside in turn one.
Give him a little tap.
Hollenbeck will lead lap number one. Here we go, side by side down the back straightaway. Kreider trying to take the lead away from the pole sitter. He's got a gaggle of Columbia Motorsports cars chasing him, but Kreider will get the lead.
79's get stuck on the outside now with the 70 gone by. I don't think you want to be on that outside. I mean, you can fight for a little bit up there, but not for very long.
Yeah, we saw that plenty of times in the amateur race. You get stuck on the outside, you fall all the way back. Here comes JB Chanot in the 29, the points leader, trying to extend her points lead by getting a lap-led bonus here. And followed by her teammate, the 99 of Akiya Tajima, Montana Sherman, George Bryan also down there as well. And you're seeing a lot of those cars that started on the inside lane moving forward on the very start of the race. And that is very typical of a lot of short tracks, but especially this one. And here we go again, another pass for the lead. Here comes Akiya Tajima. I'm kind of surprised at all the passing for the lead right off the start here, but this is the most common time where they do it. But Tajima's now out in front. Chanot is in second, and George Bryan's about to make it a Toyota 1-2-3.
Yeah, been a lot of lead changes up here, and those teammates up front, I think they're going to swap the lead back and forth. That could have been a ploy to get the 99 lap-led bonus there, because the 29 is going to go right back by here. They're way out in front, so they can keep themselves in front of the 01 and the rest of the field here, at least for a little bit.
You know, this is reminding me of back in high school. I was broadcasting a track and field event, and during the mile, there were four runners, all from the same school, who gapped the field, and they kept cycling out. The guy in front would then drop to the back of the line, and then they keep doing that over and over again. That's kind of what that situation reminded me of, although it looks like Tajima's kind of lost his partner there. He's fallen all the way back to fifth. Chanot is back in the lead. Kreider's back in second. The 62 went wide, but Vinnie Scholl's good to see her up here. Good start to the race for her. We see a lot of Toyotas up here, not just these three that we mentioned before, but also the 77 and 62. Oh boy, big move by Tajima for fourth underneath George Bryan, and here's Jacob Lopez, who dominated this race last year. He has had a very bad title defense. I think this is what some people call a championship hangover. He's trying to reverse that here today. Another pass for the lead. Kreider's back underneath the 29, and he's going to take the lead once again.
Yeah, now the 29 doesn't have Tajima back behind them. Tajima almost was able to get back in behind, but just couldn't cover the bottom. 70 got by and then kind of fell apart from there. But I do think it is interesting to point out the 45 as well. They've done a really good climb from the back of the field. I think Raymond started, I don't remember where they started, but it was in like the 20s. Rebecca Raymond's made a really good job climbing up to the field here in that 45 car. I think that's who that is.
Yeah, that is Rebecca Raymond, and not only that, but she has also not had really the greatest. She had a horrible season last year, aside from her win at Darlington, and then she hasn't had the greatest of starts here this year. Definitely looking for a good run early to kind of get that confidence up. And I mentioned all the Motor Racing Ventures cars were starting near each other towards the midfield, and we see two of them up here, the 1 and the 45, up into the top 5 already. Here's Ryan Silva, who started way deep in the field, probably I think about 31st or something. He's made his way up here as well. I just saw the 79. He almost got the wall. He might have gotten the wall, actually. It looks like his side is a little bit flattened. It should be okay, though. Oh, never mind.
Hey, that's one nice thing about this track is you can make up you can make up ground from the back if you're able to get down to the inside. If you have a fast car, you can make up that ground no matter where you are.
Darren Walker, last week's winner at Rockingham, snapped a winless drought that went back to season 1, which was also at Rockingham. So you know you got to think. Not only is he going for, I don't think I've mentioned this before, but the first driver to win 2 races in a row will get a $100,000 prize bonus on top of their winnings for the race. So Darren Walker trying to be the first to claim that prize. And also just trying to win at a track other than Rockingham, I guess. I don't think he wants to be called just a Rockingham merchant. He just got bumped out of the way, though, by his teammate, Charlie McCarron, so that's very interesting going on back there. That's going to send Walker even further back.
Yeah, it really speaks to the level of parity that this series has, that nobody has won 2 in a row, and this is the 3rd season now, I think?
This is season 3, yeah.
Yeah, so that it just speaks to how much parity is in this league, how much of everything is in this league. All these guys.
It's also worth noting, I don't think in any of the series we've run, including dating all the way back to the Combined Cup series and also the Amateur series, I don't think there's been a repeat winner in any of those before. So that's a very interesting
Not a back-to-back winner, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant, back-to-back, yeah. Oh, here we go again. JB Chanot. She's going underneath Andrew Kreider. She's going to try and get the lead back on lap number 23 already.
I think the 29, Chanot, and the 70, I think those two are probably the fastest cars. Maybe the 45 as well, honestly. The 45's literally gone from the back and now is in this fight with the leaders right now, so...
Definitely
might be worth pointing out Rebecca Raymond.
Definitely
and also Lopez.
Definitely do not count out these Motor Racing Ventures cars. Motor Racing Ventures swept the top 2 in this race last year. They also proceeded to sweep the top 2 in the very next race. That's the closest we've had
Lopez.
Yep, here comes Lopez for the lead. I was going to say that's the closest we've had to a repeat winner because it was Lopez and Harvin first and second at South Boston. Then it was Harvin and Lopez the next race at Auto Club. And that was part of how Lopez was able to close that 51-point gap to the championship lead in only 3 races last year. Very, very impressive by him. And here he is out in front again, and once again has a teammate behind him in second, just like we saw last year.
Yeah, the 1 and the 45 now out front. Now that the 29 Chanot is stuck up on the outside line, that's going to take them a while to get back from. Are they going to be able... I don't think they're even going to get clear of the 58 here.
Ryan Silva in the 58. He drove the 18 last year. He won at North... Oh,
the
45 got the wall.
45 has definitely... something bad happened.
I think she overshot the corner and got the wall, and that is going to break up the 1-2. Right as I was about to talk about Ryan Silva, but that is going to knock the 45 back significantly. But yeah, Ryan Silva, he won at North Wilkesboro last year for Hudson Motorsports. He's at Diamond Motorsports now. He is the only Canadian-born driver in the field, and he is looking for second underneath the 70 of Andrew Kreider. And he's going to get it. He started all the way back at about 31st, so I'd look out for this 58 car. It looks... I kind of roasted the Diamond Motorsports cars for their bad qualifying runs today. But
yeah, you're kind of eating it right now for that.
Yeah, this 58's proving me wrong real fast. He's all the way up to second now.
Look at the 39. Lakin Herndon has made also a really nice climb for the very back of the field as well. So track position, I guess, doesn't really mean that much here, at least not in the middle of the pack. I think it'll mean more if you're the leader, like the 1 is.
Yeah, that 39 Lake and Herndon, that's another Columbia Motorsports cars. All 4 of them. We've seen them all up here at some point. So we know. Oh my goodness gracious, that was some.
Almost hooked the 70 in the inside wall there.
Yep, he was all over the back bumper of the 70, right on him. Just about ran him over down the backstretch, and he is going to take over third away from the 70 after having to use the bumper to do it. Watching this lead by Lopez, he had a second lead last time by, and it's a 1.2 seconds here, so he's managing.
He's pulling away.
He's managing a solid lead right now, Lopez is, and not only is he the defending champion, not only is he last year's winner at this racetrack, he's also the winningest driver in the series. He has 4 wins, which is more than anybody else. So Jacob Lopez, definitely one of the top drivers, trying to avenge the slow start he had in the first couple races. Here comes Herndon.
Don't count out that 39 though. That 39's been he's been steadily pressuring that 58 for a couple laps here. And of course, forcing him out of the groove.
I think the best driver to compare Lake and Herndon to is Ryan Blaney, because both of them, when they win in spectacular fashion. He's the winner of the closest finish in series history, and he also won a thriller at Homestead in the season finale back in season 1. Herndon's up to second. He is trying to sneak up to that 1 car. We'll see if he can dig into the lead that Lopez has built up. Also want to check the lap traffic. Oh, Vinny Scholes has fallen back here. Corbin Taps is back here. Still ways away before they end up becoming a factor, which is a bit surprising. I thought they'd catch the lap cars a little bit faster.
Herndon under a second here now. And he's going to gain he gained about half a tenth that lap, so
he's definitely closing into that lead. Kreider's back up to third. Chanot's back up to fourth. Silva got put up to the outside, but he'll drop back into 5th place. Tim Berry, haven't mentioned him yet today. He snuck into the top 10 now. This isn't really known to be one of his best racetracks, but, you know, he's having a solid run here today in the 7th position. "42 laps into the race. We have not had any cautions, which I'm sure is a refresher from Rockingham, where we had 5 cautions. But pretty clean race here so far. Really only a couple of slight scrapes to the wall. And Amateur Series, something to watch, something that happened in the Amateur Series. Right about when they got into the pit cycle is when things started going off the rails. We had a caution right in the middle of the pit cycle, and we had to call what I like to call, thanks to my co-commentator, an echo caution, where we throw a caution right afterwards because there's so many cars that are on the tail in the lead laps, so we wave them by. So that ended up being pretty much a 10-lap caution. So really, we gotta wait till the pit cycle. I'd expect that we'd have to wait for the pit cycle in order for anything crazy to start happening. This 39, I think this is the closest he's been yet. He's about half a second back. We might see a battle for the lead here soon.
You say those things about the echo cautions, and the thing is, I don't even use them anymore because I've switched to the EXE you're using, and I can just wave guys around. You can just wave guys around, like with the wave command.
Yeah, and that's usually what happens here, but in that case, there were so many cars in the tail of the lead lap, and the pace laps were so short that I just thought it would be a little bit better. It also wasn't towards the end of the race or anything, so I'm like, might as well do it this way. It'll be a little bit easier. There might not be any, like, shenanigans when waving cars around, so... Oh,
hey, the 39 got by the 1.
We missed the pass for the lead. Lake and Herndon has taken the lead away from Lopez. This 39 is really fast. And, you know, this is... I do want to point out, this is the first time that they've run this white version of the Bass Pro Shop scheme. They were running it at all the night races, and, you know, maybe they got a little bit of extra speed in this one.
Yeah, that car looks really fast right now. 29's gotten back up to 3rd.
Hold on, though. Lopez is not done yet. He's peeking to the inside. This battle might keep going. Chanot is up to 3rd. Kreider is up here. Lori Jackson is up here. I didn't even notice her sneak up there, but Oh, here we go.
Here
Not
comes
gonna miss
Lopez.
this. Not gonna miss this one. Here comes Lopez to the inside. He kind of drove up the racetrack a little bit. Oh
Crossover.
man, tried to cross over there for Lake and Herndon. He wasn't able to get underneath though. This battle is definitely far from over. Let's check the tire fall off
Here
here.
he goes. He's gonna try to cross. He's gonna try to get down there this time.
Back
Got
to
about
the
a second of
inside.
tire fall off there, although I don't know if that was more of them sliding up the track or not.
Actually, not all that much tire fall
Yeah,
off.
not that bad. Not that bad.
Herndon's back
Herndon
up to
got
the
it back.
front.
Got more
And
battles further back. There's the 55.
Michael Harvin. There's the Motor Racing Ventures. All 3 cars in the top 6. They just have this track nailed down. Like we saw it last year, we're seeing it again this year. And you know, this team was off to a rough start. This season I mentioned Lopez was, but the whole team really has been. Harvin's been fine, but the other 2 have kind of struggled. But this is definitely something this team needed. Even if they don't win the race, it's still a great run for the constructors' points. Lap number 54, we're about 1/3 of the way through the race. Raymond and Harvin are battling for 5th, and Herndon is starting to pull away from Lopez. He's about 3/4 of a second up on him last time by.
I'm curious who's got the fastest lap at this point.
It's Vinny Schultz in the
Schultz.
62, who is in the last time I checked was in the back, and she's not that much higher now, but she was up there towards the start of the race.
Yeah, she did climb toward the front of the field at the start of the race, but after that it just kind of faded away. I guess it was more so she got stuck on the outside. Willis Calloway not doing too hot either. 41 car.
Karina Willis
Literally
Calloway.
last.
She's been off to a good start this season, but you know, I guess the car sunk like a rock. She had a good qualifying run, but hasn't been able to hold it. And I'm looking at the lap, the interval between the leader and these guys. They're about a second and a half. That doesn't seem
from
right.
being lapped.
They're about 2 seconds ahead of the leader. So we'll see if they end up playing a factor before the pit cycle. I don't think they will, but they definitely will after. But that is something to monitor as we get deeper into the run. Raymond is up to 4th, now peeking underneath Chanot for 3rd. Chanot goes up the track a bit. That might give Raymond an opportunity, but it looks like Chanot will shut the door on her for now. But
I think that
over the back bumper, though.
The wall damage that Raymond got earlier, I don't think it's hurting her at all.
Yeah, you
hurt
wouldn't
for a little bit, but
you wouldn't expect that to hurt the car very much, considering aero is not as important on the short tracks.
That is true. You don't really need that much aero here. You just need good motor.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, up to a second lead for Herndon here. Although, looks like the 1 might close in a little bit. We got a battle for 3rd. There is the 70.
Andrew Kreider in the 70 car, hoping his engine doesn't blow like it did last time. He's been very fast here today. Laurie Jackson making an attempt here. Oh, there we go.
Oh, we got
pit cycle
stops.
has begun. Lopez came in before the 39. The 79 came in the previous lap. So here we go. The pit cycle is beginning. And Luana Connie, you see they're pitting. Herndon's still staying out, though. He's trying an overcut. Chanot's going to try and undercut him, and she's going to bring in a bunch of other cars.
Like almost everybody came in that time. I think the thing is as well with these pit stops now, this is definitely going to be a 2-stopper because they're pitting on lap 65-ish. They're only going to make it to 130 if this is as far as they can go.
Absolutely.
Although I wonder if some of that is tires.
Ooh, be careful, 77. We saw a bit of, oh my
Whoa,
goodness.
39.
Kobe Hollenbeck just came flying in as he was leaving the pits. That's another thing. This pit entry and exit is very treacherous. There's just barely room in the entire infield of the track. Oh no!
Oh, there's the crash.
Brian Silva's around. Darren Walker is
Caution.
involved.
Caution is out.
And the caution is out. Brian's gonna pile in. But it looks like it's just them. Hollenbeck swiped the wall as well. Wheeler had an accident at some point, so there was another incident as well. And that's kind of what happened in the amateur race as well. We definitely, that was the point of contention for sure, where there would definitely be some sort of incident.
We're going to have like 4 cars in the lead lap here.
Yeah, we might have to call an echo
Oh,
caution. They're gonna
Lord.
stack up on the backstretch. Be careful, guys. Gotta slow down. Gotta slow down. And we have a bunch of guys hitting the wall there, but they're at least not running into any other cars. So
I
as
think some of these guys are still technically racing back.
they should be all done racing back by now, but they're definitely still trying to sort out because it was such an awkward time for the caution to come out. Ryan Silva scored as the leader, but he was the one that crashed, so definitely needs to sort out the running order here before this is all over. Definitely got to wave around some guys. I'm not even going to bother with the free pass in this situation because there's just so much chaos. Hollenbeck is 26th, and he's the one that the pace car picked up as the leader, I believe. But that is a lot of cars that are now one lap down. Well, first caution of the race on lap number 65, I believe, right in the middle of the pit cycle. We'll show you a replay of what happened, and then we'll get back to you for the restart. Well, this was a classic pit in, pit out collision, and that's what happens when the pit exit and pit entrance are so close to each other. Darren Walker trying to leave the pits, Ryan Silva trying to enter the pits, and they end up colliding. And we see a couple other cars pile in here at the end, the 01 of George Bryan included. But this is definitely going to cause some chaos for sure with all the lap down cars and tail end the lead lap cars. You never want to see a caution during the pit cycle just because of the mess that it makes. So there's your first caution right there on lap number 63. And yep, that's what happened.
8 car exiting the pits. 58 car comes in. They are on a collision course. And a bunch of these guys just could not avoid them. 01 ran right in the back of the 58 there. 79 actually did a pretty good job to miss that. But just a collision course kind of happens with these green flag stops. Hopefully they'll sort it out on this restart.
Yeah, actually, the 01 was the only one that piled into it. Everyone else actually did a pretty good job missing it. But yeah, we'll get you back to the restart here. Hopefully that's the last of the cautions today. And yep, we'll get you back to it. Well, here's what happened to Adrian Wheeler. It was not actually an on-track incident. It was the 92 and 28 colliding in the pit boxes. That's Wheeler's pit box right behind him. And I guess he never thought to use the reverse gear, and he just sat there while the 92 was having her pit stop. So that cost him several laps due to all of this, and also because he kept moving around. It took him forever to tow him back. Then they had to tow him all the way around the track. That's basically going to ruin his race, and that's unfortunate for Adrian Wheeler. Just a really weird circumstance in the pit lane, and it's a small pit lane, it's a tight pit lane, not much room. Sometimes you're going to get stuff like this happening. Welcome back here at South Boston. This will be a very brief one-lap restart because we are going to call an echo caution due to the sheer number of cars that are ahead of the current leader, Ryan Silva, who, by the way, was the one that started the caution in the first place. So that's a bruh moment for sure. So once the 01 gets by the line, we are going to call a caution. And we're just going to show all these cars that get back on the lead lap. There's the 58 car, Ryan Silva. Lopez trying to make a pass for the lead. 3 wide before the yellow. Did he get it? Yes, he did. Actually,
I think he was a lap down.
He's not on the lead lap. I thought he was, but he is not. And the 58,
what is the 58 doing?
Wrecking himself under caution.
He tried to pit,
and he runs
then
into
he's
the
in the pit wall.
He runs into the barrels. What the heck is he doing?
Driving good.
This race has gone off the rails. As I kind of foreshadowed, it might. But we should have a lot more cars on the lead lap now, once they finally get themselves around the pace car. Heavy damage on the 29 and the 99. They probably ran into each other. That's not good for Columbia Motorsports. But we'll see. Corbin Taps is going to cycle out as the leader because the 58 just decided to end his race for no reason.
I guess all these guys came back to pit road here.
And that's another
Contact.
thing. This is a tight pit road, so we're gonna see collisions in the pit lane, but they're usually not devastating enough to cause severe damage. But there's severe damage to the points leader, JB Chanot. They're probably gonna have to rip the hood off of it. So once we're all through here, there's your leader. So we have a few cars that are still in front of the leader, but at least these guys will be easy to wave around. Well,
I think with them pitting here, they might be able to make it to the end, but I don't know. It'll be really close.
So we'll wave the 99, we'll wave the 25, and we'll wave the 01.
And the 16, I think, is the leader here.
The 16 is the leader, and he will have some lap cars on the inside here. Despite the echo caution, we did not have very many cars unlap themselves, so lap cars are going to be a contending... they're going to be a contentious point for the rest of the race, and here we go. We still don't have everybody lined up properly.
I think I think they're not lined up properly here. I think they're trying to get caught up here.
The 88 just opened the pits. I'll give them one more...
Oh, he blew up.
Oh, he blew up under caution. Okay, that makes sense. I'm going to give him one more
caution.
Late. Oh, it's too late for that now. Oh boy, these guys better get out of the way. Alright. Green flag in the air. Corbin Taps is the leader. He's going to lead them back to the green. Looks like these guys won't be a problem, so alright. Oh my goodness, the 18 goes up the racetrack. Andrew Kreider is second. Gino's third. We have another car pitting. It's the 58 and the 24. They'll have to be on pit loop watch. I'll have to check. Doesn't look like there is any pit looping going on. Oh, the 58.
58 might.
We'll keep an eye on them. If they pit loop, they get disqualified. 3 wide here with the lap cars. Corbin Taps has to deal with all of this. The 58, he's still in the pits. He hasn't exited yet. But I believe this is Corbin Taps' first laps led. The one car is not
still a lap down.
One car's not on the lead lap, so most of these guys didn't even get their laps back. A few of them did, but most of them did not. So again,
might have been from the stack up from the pit road under caution, kind of messing things up.
Oh, look out! We got a bunch of cars pitting, the 65 and the 70. That's going to stack them up behind. And those were guys that didn't get to pit initially, I believe. So that kind of makes sense. But pit road is still very active even after the restart. So that's something to keep an eye on. The 70 came in and pitted. The 16, Corbin Taps got disqualified for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay.
Where the heck is he? You know, I mean, he's off the track now, so he's no longer the leader. Now it's the 55 of Michael Harbin. I have no idea what's going on. And, you know, I mentioned it. 65 is leaving the pits right now. I think I mentioned it. I didn't mention it on a broadcast, but I mentioned it during the amateur race that I don't know what happened to this track. It definitely got stupider after. Oh, caution is out.
Caution. You got a caution.
Jack
that
Gino.
It's a 65.
Jack Gino.
Don't.
And Tyler Landry and Andrew Kreider and Kevin DuPont. So this was a multi-car pileup in turn number 3. And we had more stack-ups, I believe, unless the 52 Cheryl Simmons was in the crash, which is very possible. We have a lot of damaged cars now. Somebody is smoking. It's probably... Oh, it's the 24 car. I don't see a mech failure, so that must be damage. That's
probably damage, I think.
52 Cheryl Simmons is out of the race. They're going to try and fix that 24 despite the smoking. 98 is smoking. He's definitely done.
98's got to be done here.
Kreider has a lot of damage on the 70 car, and he's out of the race. So this race just continues to be chaos. Joanna Clark is going to get the free pass once we get to that, but we have another cycle of pit stops. A bunch of cars unlapped themselves because of that, so that's good news for them. Okay, let's be careful exiting the pits, okay? Alright. Well,
These guys are going to be tail end here because they're going to be ahead of the 55.
yeah, this
So
should
these
be
guys are
easy
going to
to
probably
wave,
take the
though.
wave around.
Yep. We'll
Silva's
get...
still going, and I don't know how because he literally slammed the pit wall head first.
Yeah, we saw Sophia Miller-Lee do that in the amateur race, and that killed her car instantly. But anyway, we're
You
gonna
could
go...
probably wave them around now.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the replay, and we'll catch you back up on the restart. Well, this was quite the bizarre incident, very similar to the previous ones. Kreider and Gino are both exiting the pits. Andrew Kreider comes up into a 3-wide situation. Gino wrecks his teammate and then himself. And then the 70 car hits the outside wall. He goes tumbling into turn 3 at South Boston. Hits the wall with his roof and then rests down on all fours. And we have a couple other cars piling in as well, like Kevin DuPont, Tyler Landry, Cooper Spur. And most of their races are going to be over. We saw the 52 get involved as well. Cheryl Simmons, she nosed it into the inside wall, but a bizarre accident here in a race full of bizarre accidents here at South Boston. And yeah, there's the damage to the 52. That will more than likely take her out of the race. So the first time we've seen a car go upside down in quite a while in this series, and Andrew Kreider, he just cannot catch a break. He's been fast all season long, but just absolutely nothing has gone his way.
So the 70 and the 65 come out of pit road, right into traffic. Upside down goes the 70, and they stack up in the back as well. Just a massive lapse of judgment on both of their parts. But also, I guess, to be fair, it is kind of hard to exit onto the track here, which is so narrow. Hopefully, that's the last of the chaos, I guess.
Well, I was wondering why Lori Jackson was out of the race, and now we know why. She got into it with the 41 there, she got into the pit barrels, and that ended up ending her race. Doesn't look like the smoke's coming out yet, and then she gets run into by the 11 of Tim Berry, and that's what ends her race, apparently. It was not the contact with the barrels that did it in. It was the contact with the 11 after. So, yeah, that's going to end Lori Jackson's race. That's a shame, because she had an incredible drive from 34th on the grid all the way up into the top 10. But, it's all unraveled for the 7 now. And that's not a good deal. Not a good deal for checkered flag racing in general, because they had the Adrian Wheeler thing happen last time. So it's not a good day for them for sure. Welcome back to the Lumen Stock Car Invitational at South Boston. We are on lap number 90, and these guys ran into each other on the backstretch when they were trying to wave around. We're back in the restart. We have more lap cars than lead lap cars at this point, and we still have cars coming in and pitting because they have damage. But the 55 is your leader. JT Boyd is second. Holly Martin is third. Ashley Blake is fourth, and Tim Berry rounds out the top 5.
Jacob Lopez has got to be like 3 or 4
out.
laps
Blake's
down.
gonna
We got
get
a
spun.
spinner.
Harvin just came into the pits. Blake kept it straight. We might not even get a caution for that, and
I
it
don't
looks
think
like
that's
we
a caution.
won't. And
Keep
now
green.
that's going to give the lead to JT Boyd in the 77, who won the season opening race. Oh no, they collided, and we have a big crash on the back straightaway. LaTanya Gray, the track is blocked. Caution is out again. And all those cars pitting is just causing more problems. And I don't really have like a way to enforce that, honestly, to prevent that. And now, through the chaos, it is an NH12, but the second car has damage, Oscar Duval. And, yeah, we have just developed into absolute anarchy in this race. Lap number 94. And we are under, I believe, the 4th caution of the race. Maybe the 3rd. But something in that ballpark. JT Boyd is the leader. That's about the only thing we're certain of. These guys are taking forever to sort themselves out. And I'd be shocked if there's any clean cars left on the track at this point. Huh? Well, I found one.
Hey,
Shauna Everett. But yeah, it's
77
been
looked pretty clean too.
yeah, it's been a absolute chaotic, I guess you could call it a race at some point, but hopefully all this gets sorted out. We'll show you the replay of what happened and we'll get back to you on the restart. Again, it's the same type of crash going on here. The 6 of Holly Martin tried to get in, got blocked by the 62, and up into the air again goes the 5, Joanna Clark. Thankfully, she didn't go tumbling like Andrew Kreider did. But big stack up on the backstretch. Latanya Gray, Adrian Wheeler get involved, but most of these guys behind actually didn't make contact with anyone. They were able to stop in time and prevent any more damage to their already damaged race car. Well, except her. Her car looks fine. But yeah, that was another incident caused by pit road problems. And yeah, that's all there is to it. That's what's been causing basically all these yellows. So I think I've at least narrowed down what to fix on this track potentially. But yeah,
The 6 Holly Martin trying to pull into the pit road. Same thing as the first caution. Schultz and Martin tangled, and the 5 was just an innocent victim, and so was the 81 of Latanya Gray. Just sucks when you're on a collision course like that, especially with how the pit road exits here.
welcome back here at South Boston. About to restart on lap number 99. Nobody came in and pit under the caution. By the way, we have a lot of retirements. Latanya Gray, the 3, 52, 66, 98, 24, 70, 16, 88, and 7. Green flag is back in the air. It is a NH Motorsports 1-2 with Holly Martin and Oscar Duvall. And we have cars in the wall, the 5 and
wide.
the 11, and the 5 is around. We're going to have another caution, and Lopez is caught up in it. And he had just gotten back on the lead lap. The 92, Kate Summers, runs into the back of him. He made up 3. Echo pointed out while we were under break, Lopez made up 3 laps in all that chaos. But now both ends of the car are destroyed, and we have another
and the 25 car is in the pit wall.
We have another car that's found the pit wall, and it's Luana Connie. It looks like she's going to try and get out of it, though, but she got teleported before she could even move forward. So we're under another caution, this one due to cars hitting the wall in turn 2 and the 5 of Joanna Clark getting spun around. Lopez is done, so his bad start to the season continues despite still having some pretty fast pace, just not very good luck here today.
Crazy enough, because of how quickly that caution happened, a ton of those cars that were down at the bottom, like the 92 and 8 got back on the lead lap.
Yeah, well, the 92 is a bit destroyed now.
Or excuse me, the 62, not the 92.
92 isn't on the lead lap, though. She's in 12th, so... Or at least last time she was on the lead lap.
Okay, the 62 is a lap down, but the 62 did get one of their laps back. So a lot of these guys are getting their laps back when we're under caution.
We still have 12 cars on the lead lap. So, this is becoming chaotic. If I had known this would happen, I would have turned single file restarts on. But, yeah. We're gonna show you guys what happened, and we'll get back to the restart very soon. Well, this one happened right off the restart, and this had nothing to do with any pit collisions. The 5 got pushed up the track by Adrian Wheeler, into the wall with the 11 of Tim Berry. They're still up on the wall. There's nowhere for them to go. And then the 5 sideswipes the 39, and nowhere for the 1 car of Jacob Lopez to go. 58 gets another piece of it, backs it into the wall there, and then gets hit again by the 11, and then gets hit again by the 92, just knocked around like a pinball. That's unfortunate for Lopez. He led a lot of laps earlier, got stuck a couple laps down, made up all those laps, and then just to have all this happen. So that one actually that had nothing to do with the pit entry. That was just lap car getting pushed out of the way by another lap car, which caused a bunch of chaos down the back.
On the restart here, the 5 just gets shuffled up by the 28 into the 11. They get tangled up, and Clark tries to merge back down on the track. Nowhere to go. Nowhere to go for Lopez either. And then the 92 just piles in. Tough luck for Lopez. He made up 3 laps on that on those last few restarts, but it's gonna be all for naught here.
Yeah, both ends of the car destroyed, and I believe that is the 4th caution of the day. Oh, that's right. This happened too. Luana Connie just ran into the pit barriers for no reason. We've had a couple of cars hit those things, so including in the amateur race. But yeah, another caution here today. We'll get you back with the restart here soon. And yeah, this has definitely been a race of all time. Welcome back here at South Boston, lap number 105. If this was the amateur race, this would be the end of the race. But fortunately or unfortunately, we have 45 more laps to go. There's about the same number of lap cars as lead lap cars now, so that'll be interesting to see.
It's like the start of a race.
JT Boyd is your leader. Oscar Duvall's teammate is second, and then it's Ashley Blake. They're 3 wide again.
Whoa, 57.
But the 36 smartly backed out of it, but Duvall is right in the middle of it now. Adrian Wheeler, who is not on the lead lap, is trying to make some moves here.
These lap cars these lap cars are pretty desperate for another caution. There's like 5 or 6 that have gotten by the 77 now. They get a caution, they get back on the lead lap, they got a chance maybe to get up there towards the 77 and challenge for the win.
Boyd has lap cars on all sides of him. The 92 comes into the pits. That's not surprising. She was involved in that last accident. And here comes George Bryan. He is on the lead lap. He's going for the lead.
The 77 had a lot of ways to had a long ways to fall if he was going to get past for the lead, but the 01 is going for it right here. I think he's going to get it too.
Yep, to the lead, George Bryan. And I guess one thing that is going for this race is that there's been a lot of different leaders throughout all this
Charlie
chaos.
McCarron in the 85. Remember, the 85 was the lap down, got ran into by another car under caution.
Montana
she's
Sherman.
She's up to 3rd. Might take 2nd here very soon.
She already has taken 2nd. The 77 stuck on the outside lane, cannot find a way down. And now McCarran and the 41 of Karina Willis-Callaway, who has done nothing all race, but because she hasn't been involved in any of the incidents, has a completely clean race car.
Hey,
she is up to 3rd place now.
Remember when she was running last?
Yeah, she was in last, about to get lapped not too long ago. That is a 3-wide Columbia Motorsports sandwich right there, but they're able to get out of it. The 79 of Kobe Hollenbeck, the only one that's on the lead lap out of them is the 39 of Laken Herndon, who has a big gash on the right side of the car. But you know, we're starting to get some green flag laps in. Maybe this is the end of the chaos. But here comes the 85.
39 was a couple laps down as well, and he made up some of those during that chaos to get back on the lead lap. So
Charlie McCarran is looking on the 01 of George Bryan. You know, she hasn't won a points race yet, despite winning 2 exhibition races, last year's All-Star race and this year's Clash. Definitely looking for her first points-paying win here. She's got to run down George Bryan. The 57 of Shauna Everett just ran the 58 up the track. Neither of them are on the lead lap, though. But I guess, they're not even racing for position. So that was aggression for the sake of being aggressive, I suppose.
Aggressive goes around.
They didn't go around this time, but they definitely could.
62 almost got hooked by the 8 earlier. I was watching that.
Looks like they're going to get out of that situation there. 85.
Somehow.
Getting passed for 2nd. Here comes Karina Willis-Callaway. She won at Nashville Fairgrounds in Season 1. So she's won on a short track before.
Pretty similar track as well.
Yeah, this is an interesting run here for the 41. She's been off to a hot start so far. Maybe a win would definitely accentuate that, but even a 2nd place definitely would. 85, the 11 of Tim Berry's in 4th, and then it's Zach Dearman in 5th. You know, he has not had a single top 10 finish since the 2nd race of the season in Season 2. So it has been a rough go of things for Zach Dearman lately. This would be a perfect run for him if he can manage to hold on to it.
Hey, take advantage of the chaos. Doesn't matter how you get him.
Absolutely.
Just got to get him. Brian got
57.
forced to the outside. Here comes Karina.
Yep, there's no lap cars in between the leader and second anymore. There
She
was
is gonna
for a
have
little
to.
bit.
She's gonna have to make up some ground though. That's about 6/10 between those two.
Look at all these lap cars that gap the leaders. That's interesting to watch. Dearman's up to third. He made some big moves here, and now all these cars that are on the lead lap, they're all together now. Boyd got shuffled way back here. He's still having to deal with lap cars, but the top 6 have cleared all the lap traffic. Except for
Now
the
we can
ones that are
finally
in
get
front
a
of the
good
leader.
race.
Yep.
Good race to the finish here.
This could be a 6-car battle to the end. I'd imagine after all those cautions, they've pitted enough to where they can make it to the end. But we'll see. Walker's
The
up to
01
fourth.
is. I kind of didn't even really notice the 01's got tons of damage. I
Yeah,
don't know
the
how he's
01.
managing to hold the lead.
The 01 is beat up on both sides and the front, but here comes the 41 who
Karina.
has no damage at all. She's going for the lead on the inside, side by side on lap 123. There is a car in the pits. It's the 5. Okay, nobody cares. Karina Willis-Callaway goes to the lead. And here comes
Great run by
Walker.
Karina.
This 8 car, you know what? He's looking for that $100,000. He is climbing through the field fast. He's up to third now. So that's a guy who absolutely wants to win this race. He'd be a part of history if he did. Oh boy, that was
Someone's got to do it
close.
eventually.
92 and 28 got real close there. I'm pretty sure the 92 is 90. This car's in 14th place. This is the
Yeah, she was on the lead lap, but she came to pit road earlier.
Yeah, she did. They're taking a while on that 5 car to fix it. I'm not surprised at all. That thing is beat up. But here we go.
I'm surprised that car is fixable.
Here comes the 8 of Darren Walker trying to get to Brian. Karina Willis-Callaway's pulling away though, and you know what? There's only about 24 laps to go, and 24 laps absolutely fly by at this racetrack. You know, when they're not wrecking each other every other lap, which, you know, we're finally out of that situation, it looks like, so that's definitely good to see.
I wouldn't say that Karina's got this locked up though. I mean, we saw earlier. What was it? I think the I don't remember who it was leading earlier. I have a bad memory, but
it was
you have
Lopez
a
out in front.
Yeah, Lopez was leading, and Herndon ran him down from about a second and a half back. So,
and you know,
it's never over.
There's no bigger motivator than a big wad of cash, and that's what Darren Walker's chasing right now. He sees $100,000 in his windshield right now. He's up to second. Here comes Dearman going for third. Wouldn't that be something? No top 10s for a year, and then you win? That would be quite a turnaround there for Dearman. Gino's not on the lead lap. Boyd is, though. He's up into the top 5.
It'd be a way to pull it off for Dearman, but Walker, that 8 car looks really fast.
Yeah, he's been picking him up and putting him down ever since the restart. Oh, look out for the 5 car.
He's coming back.
Oh, she's going to get in the way of the 8 car. That is not what Darren Walker wanted at all. No accident or anything, but still, that was definitely not ideal. How many laps down is this car? Even 9 laps down.
9 laps
for the
down.
5. Oh, Walker's got to be fuming right now.
I mean, the 5 looks like it has fresher tires, so it might actually help the 8 here eventually.
Yeah, if the 5 gets under the 41, this could end up helping Walker.
Yeah. Because you get stuck at the outside here.
Oh, it might happen here. Here we
Here
go.
we go.
Joanna Clark diving to the inside, shoving Karina Willis-Callaway up the racetrack. This car is 9 laps down. And Karina's hoping she can get down before the lap.
Nope.
Before the 8 takes
Walker.
advantage. And here we go. Walker to the
Here
inside.
comes the 77.
Boyd's up to
He
third.
just showed up.
He's climbing back up through the field. And Walker's going to get the lead. He's going to try and pull off the improbable with 15 laps to go. This race has gotten real spicy at the end. After all the chaos and such, we've got ourselves a good old-fashioned battle for the win. Boyd is going for second now. You know, these are the 2 winners this season. They're first and second. Oh, man, the 65, not even on the lead lap. He's also having an influence here. The 41 is falling back. But the 2 race winners from earlier are now showing down here at South Boston. Yeah, but the 65 might decide to ruin all this. Gino.
Or he could bring the 18 of Zach Dearman into this.
Dearman's up to third. Once again, we have 5 cars that can still win it up here.
Oh, the
But
18's going for second.
we have a mix of lap cars in this as well.
And now if the 65 gets underneath the 8, the 18 could take the lead if everything goes right for him there.
Dearman to second. Here comes Jack Gino, the former teammate of Zach Dearman, challenging the 8 of Walker. He's not on the lead lap, but he can still play a factor in this race. He might not even need to, though, because the 18 looks real fast, and he's closing in the gap. We've got 11 laps to go, though. He's running out of time to do it.
Anything's possible here.
Especially after what we've seen earlier. Here we go.
Absolutely.
Dearman peeked underneath the lap car of Jack Gino. Wasn't able to make a move yet. He might have a shot here in turns 3 and 4. He says, I'm going to do it myself.
Gino's starting to lose the handle a little bit there, which I guess makes sense because he has no rear end on that car.
Here we go. We've got a race now. Here comes Dearman. No lap cars in the way. 9 laps to go. Mano y mano. Let's see what happens.
An old-fashioned short track shootout here for the win with just about 8 laps to go.
Walker's holding steady so far, but Dearman is definitely lurking. If Walker slips up, he'll be right on the back bumper. Battle for third behind them. Karina Willis-Callaway and JT Boyd, they've been swapping that position back and forth the last few laps. Good drive off the corner for Dearman. Barely closed in anything. Pretty much the same gap. We'll see. He's running out of time. He's got to make a move soon. Coming out of turn number 4. 6 laps to go.
18's trying. He's trying everything he can to get there, but I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna. I think he's gonna need a mistake from the 8 here.
Darren Walker.
8 car is running a little higher.
Trying to go back to back and claim the bounty.
The 18 lost time that lap.
Yeah, the 8 definitely seems to be faster.
He's gonna really need. He's gonna need a really good lap, or the 8 to mess up here.
Boy, these
we'll
Hondas.
See. Oh, he gained a 10th that lap.
Here we go. Yep, it's not over yet. Here we go. The 8
Here comes Dearman.
Here comes Dearman. Oh, he's
going for it.
He's gonna get there. Here we go. Side by side off of turn 4. Just when I was about to call Walker to the end. 3 laps to go. Dearman with a late charge. And here he comes. He's going to take the lead away from Dearman. But was that the last move we've seen? Does Dearman have enough time to make another move? He slips up the track. That's definitely not going to help him. 2 laps to go. Zach Dearman is in the lead for Hudson Motorsports. Can he
Walker
bring
have
it
enough
home?
time? I think he's losing. I think he's lost too much here. Unless that 18 has some sort of issue. I think he might have this.
1 lap to go for Zach Dearman. The final pass with 3 laps to go. If he can hold on for 2 more corners. And after going a year without scoring a single top 10, he is going to go to victory lane with Hudson Motorsports. Zach Dearman gets the win at South Boston.
Man, Walker had that money right in his sights, and it just slipped away.
Yep, right at the end. An incredible charge from Zach Dearman. What a great piece of driving, by the way. Surprisingly, after all the beating and banging, it was some incredible driving at the end by all these guys. The 18, it says it's going to say he retired at the in the results now, but I'll fix it in the actual thing. But yeah.
Yeah, it's because I think he retired before he came to his pit stall before the last car crossed the line. I think that's why.
Yeah, it's a bit of a goofy, very short track moment. But yeah,
NR.
Zach Dearman with the win. Let me export the results. And despite all the chaos and despite all the anarchy in the middle part of the race, we somehow ended up with a very good battle at the end of the race. That was quite the race, especially towards the end. Zach Dearman finishes first. Darren Walker tried to become the first back-to-back winner. He had it until the final 3 laps. JT Boyd with another solid run in third. Charlie McCarron, that's another Honda. Again, the Hondas are still fast. 2 of them in the top 4 here today. George Bryan with another solid run in 5th. Karina Willis-Callaway with another solid run in 6th. Ashley Blake, Oscar Duvall in the top 10. You love to see that. Tim Berry, Lake, and Herndon round out the top 10. Michael Harvin, Akia Tajima, and Shauna Everett all finished on the lead lap. And you know what? That wasn't a terrible race for Pacific Racing. Despite both cars being completely demolished and both cars being a lap down, they still both finished top 15. I guess it was that kind of race here today, especially if you look at all the retirements. I still don't know what happened with Corbin Taps. I don't know why the game decided to DQ him, but uh, we'll have to look into that post race. Of course, we don't even really know how all of these cars retired yet because we haven't looked at all the replays. But yeah, 23 cars finished the race. A lot of cars did not get to finish the race today, including some really fast cars like Jacob Lopez in the 1 car and Andrew Kreider in the 70. But yeah, Echo, uh, can you collect your thoughts on that race and tell us what you thought?
That was definitely a race of all time. If I had to describe it in a short sentence, really good battles, lots of chaos with the everything in that middle stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. If you took out the middle stretch of the race, if you forget that middle stretch ever happened, we had actually a pretty solid race here today. I'm going to be really interested to see how many lead changes we had because it had to have been a ton from like all the swapping at the start, all the chaos in the middle, and then the battles at the end. I wouldn't say we had like a record number of lead changes, but it's probably a very high number. But either way, I wouldn't call
Well,
that. I wouldn't call that like one of the best races, but it was at least entertaining to watch. So that's definitely something. It is going to be not very entertaining to edit, but it will definitely be entertaining for you guys to watch once the full race gets uploaded on YouTube. Well,
good thing I don't have to worry about that.
I guess not. You got to see the whole race already. So, congratulations to Zach Dearman on winning here today. This is his second career win, his first one since season 1 at Watkins Glen, which was also in a very fun battle at the end with Charlie McCarron. At that time, it was the closest finish in league history. It's not anymore, but still, Zach Dearman getting a win here today. Congratulations to him and Hudson Motorsports. That's going to be all for today. Next week, I don't think the chaos is quite over yet. Next week, we're headed to Atlanta, so that's definitely something to keep an eye out next week. We know how Atlanta is. So on behalf of Echo Evans Ross and myself, this is Left Turn Network signing out.